Movie review, Bloodline, showing on Bolani Ogunmola TV, starring Benson Williams, Chioma Nwosu, Adiolu Akintaba, and Darasimi Agbeta. This movie revealed something profound about love and sacrifice. The love portrayed carries such depth and weight that without the right mindset, no one can give it. It is a love that holds no resentment, no hatred, and no struggle to forgive. I have seen similar stories play out in real life, and the outcomes are rarely pleasant. We've all witnessed situations like those in Bloodline on the internet and how tragically they often end. The kind of love Bode had for Ego is one I earnestly pray for, not a manipulative love or one that denies a partner the freedom to choose, but a genuine and stable love. Anyone who watches this movie will see a man who should have been consumed by anger over the lies that built the foundation of his relationship, yet he refused to be bitter. I am careful not to give away spoilers, but I must say, Bode's character is admirable. As Ego pointed out, every woman longs for a stable man and a peaceful family. Nobody desires a man who mirrors the Nigerian government's selfish inquiries about the welfare of the people. Bode is the opposite, intentional, kind, and devoted. He prioritizes his wife's happiness and his family's peace. His love even extends beyond his home, evident to strangers who encounter him. Bode is a complete man, God-fearing and spiritually grounded. When a crisis struck his family, he ran to his pastor for counsel rather than vent on the internet, gossip with friends, or create a public scene. His character stood out as the true embodiment of love and responsibility. The film captures this beautifully with the line, "A father's true legacy isn't in his bloodline, but in the love he chooses to give, the sacrifices he makes, and the unwavering presence that shapes a life." That is exactly who Bode is: a compassionate father and a steady husband. Ego, on the other hand, embodies a mother's love. She was determined not to raise her son in a toxic home without stability. Initially, I blamed her manipulative and deceitful behavior. She shifted blame too often, and it was frustrating to watch. But when Auntie Clara spoke about a Jike, my judgment softened. Ego wanted safety for her child, but her methods were flawed. She should have communicated openly with Bode, knowing his deep love and willingness to move mountains for her, instead of exploiting his kind heart. Still, one thing stood out. Why did Bode remain quiet after overhearing Ego's conversation with her friend at Aid's birth? That revelation was powerful enough to provoke even the calmest man alive. A reaction at that point might have prevented the disaster during the blood transfusion. Yet, his silence highlighted his calm and collected nature. This movie drives home the importance of raising children in a loving home where the father expresses genuine affection for his wife and the wife respects her husband. Take, for instance, the scene at 1 hour 19 minutes, where Aid told his girlfriend Habibi he was going on a trip. He later admitted he only wanted to use that trip to ghost everyone, but he couldn't summon anger like most people would expect. His inability to feel deep resentment made sense. How can a child raised by a man like Bode, who constantly affirmed his love, truly harbor bitterness? Bode was proud of his son and demonstrated it openly. He encouraged a healthy relationship between Aid and Habibi, never imposing rigid rules, but allowing his son the freedom to feel and express himself. Watching that dynamic was refreshing. Even when Aid asked his father if he would forgive his mother so easily, I laughed. Aid clearly had no idea what true love entails. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Thank you, Balaji, for creating it. However, there were a few missteps worth noting. 1. At the 6-minute mark, someone called Aid's mother using Aid's phone to inform her of his accident. When his parents rushed out, it was night, but upon arriving at the hospital, it suddenly appeared to be broad daylight, yet both still greeted the doctor with good evening. The inconsistency stood out, too. The 2 prayer scenes lacked authenticity. They would have felt more powerful if the actors prayed fully instead of cutting off the scene at "In the name of Jesus." Aside from these, Bloodline was excellent. A moving story, brilliantly acted, and deeply thought-provoking. I highly recommend it. #IceRY Fantasy. Great review and a great watch. Be careful who you decide to get pregnant for. So you don't get to make any tough decisions. I learned.